And Malik Smith will bat ninth for Scott Service's team. Game number 2 of 60 of 2020, and we are underway. That one hit on the ground on the right side. Yuli Gurriel is there. Shovels it over to Lance McCullers, and there's one away. One pitch, one out. Today's starting defense powered by Xfinity. Michael Brantley is in left, Springer in center, and Reddick is in right. Middle infield of Correa and Altuve. Saw Yuli make that play at first base. Alex Bregman on the other corner at third. Martin Maldonado is behind the plate, catching Lance McCullers Jr. It's the pitch to Evan White, who got his first major league hit last night. White went 1 for 4. It was an infield hit. First big league at bat facing Justin Verlander, and Verlander punched him out on 3 pitches. Hey.
Got a strong taste of that slider real quick from Justin Verlander last night.
McCullers quickly ahead, 0-2.
Masters Firm Supermo is going to show us that changeup we talked about pregame. This is the first one he's thrown, that circled changeup, turns it over, and that bottom just drops out of it, stays in the bottom portion of that zone. And again, it's going to lock up the hitter because they haven't seen that too frequently from Lance McCullers. A lot of scouting reports will say fastball, curveball, but now they're going to have to mix that changeup in there.
And the question that's always going to come up is that when you look at Lance McCullers and a guy who throws that curveball 85, 86 miles an hour, what's the difference between a curveball and a slider in that regard?
It depends on who you ask.
Exactly.
You know, because usually the slider goes a little more east and west, and the curveball will go a little more north and south, but he's got the ability to throw the extra hard one, like you said, in the mid to upper 80s, and create a little bit tighter break, a little more slider-like, and then take a little bit off, and it creates a little more of a curveball break to it.
3-2 pitch. This is outside. Evan White draws a walk.
This is the curveball from Lance. Just held on a little bit too long, yanked it, pulled it into the dirt.
No, Kyle Seager bats here in the first inning. Seager hit a home run last night. He's had a lot of success, likes hitting in this ballpark. 239 a year ago, did have those 23 home runs. That went off the plate, 1-0.
Lance is definitely one of those players who can create his own energy field around him. You can read his emotions on his face, in his demeanor. But this is a guy who is incredibly amped up right now to be on the field for the first time in a long time. He's worked extremely hard to get to this point. Just a matter of taming the nerves and taming the anxiety and going out there and pitching a big league ball game.
First appearance since Game 4 of the ALCS. That was October 17th of 2018 against the Red Sox. He made 5 appearances in the postseason in 2018, but all were out of the bullpen. 2-1.
Pretty good take by Kyle Seager on that changeup just off the outside edge. Maldonado having a little bit of a conversation with Chris Guccione about the location of that. Take another look at it on our MD Anderson strike zone. That changeup fading just off the edge. Martin Maldonado did everything he could.
Just underway here in Game 2 of this 4-game series. Astros winning last night, 8-2. The ball hit well into right field. Springer will look up, and that is off the wall. And Correa with the throw to the plate, and they will hold up Evan White. Outstanding job of getting to it in right center field by Springer, and then knowing that Correa, with the gun that he has, able to turn, and they were able to hold up Evan White at third base. So Kyle Seager with a ringing double.
How did Evan White not score?
I don't know. Ball was hitting the air a long way.
That ball was punished by Kyle Seager. You talked about the numbers hitting here at Minute Maid Park, and he got a fastball up out over the plate. And it short hops the center field wall, and Evan White can run a little bit, but it didn't look as if he was really busting it around the bases. But you're right, though. Manny Acta, the third base coach for the Seattle Mariners, had to hold him up because the ball was in the hands of Carlos Correa.
And you think at first base, with that angle and the ball being in front of him, he'd have had a better read than anybody, right?
Yeah, it wasn't getting out of here. I'm a little surprised by that. Maybe that benefits the Astros and allows Lance to work around this early damage.
There's Kyle Lewis, who hit an absolute bomb last night. Lance having to work through some trouble here in the first inning.
George did a very good job barehanding that and getting it to Carlos, but as soon as that baseball is in Carlos's hands, every third base coach around the league understands that's a pretty good cannon.
Yeah. So runners at second and third with one out. And it's 2-0. So Lewis last night with that bomb. 438 feet as he hit that one up onto the train tracks here. This is a guy that became the first player in Major League history to homer in 6 of his first 10 career games. He had 6 home runs in 18 games last year, and Brent Straub's going to come out to the mound.
This might just be a little bit of the calming of the nerves, reminding him about a couple of key points in his delivery to get him back in the zone.
And now a quick word from TXU Energy. So Lance McCullers with a 2-0 count to Kyle Lewis here. Walked Evan White on a pitch, a breaking ball in the dirt that really wasn't close. And now Kyle Seager's double off the right center field wall. Gets a swing and a miss there. Ball and two balls and a strike.
Yeah, I think Kyle Lewis was all in 2-0 looking for the fastball, but it was that curveball that came in. Not really close to where he was swinging, but Kyle Lewis has got some pretty good power. A lot of people within the Seattle Mariners organization, as Kyle Lewis was coming up through the ranks, said that he had some of the highest exit velocity of anybody in their system.
Yeah, 6 homers, as I said, in 18 games. 11th overall pick was Kyle Lewis. This is a guy that he had a terrible knee injury shortly after he was drafted. Played less than 80 games in his first 2 professional seasons. This is outside, 3-1.
It was a heck of a stop by Martin. You want to get the body down there in front, but I think he recognized at the last second how far out in front that was, and he was just going to try and play the long hop. How about the shield around his mask? It's interesting.
Yep. It's the first time we've seen that.
Yeah. Good shot.
Now Lewis will step out.
I wonder how similar that is going to be to what the NFL has proposed with those full face shields.
When you saw that,
that's what I first thought.
That's the first thing I thought of, was players kind of balking at that. And the bases are loaded with one out here in the first inning.
Everything missing to that glove side for Lance McCullers. Obviously a little bit easier with that breaking ball. But when he starts to yank fastballs, that typically tells you that that arm is a little bit quicker than the body.
So here's Austin Nola.
Get you a ground ball right here. Change your attitude.
Absolutely. Get off the field. Get out of some trouble.
That's the beauty of the Astros defense, too, is they have the ability to do that.
Bases loaded with one out here in the first. There's your ground ball. There's one. Over to first and a double play. Lance McCullers gets out of a jam, and Jeff Blum called it.
Just takes one. Get that ground ball. Use that all-star defense behind you. It starts with Carlos Altuve and an easy turn.
As our local